Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, today is day 2 of the 2019 Spirit of Giving Toy Drive. Donate unwrapped toys, money, December 6th through the 8th. Online wish list available to help donors. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Landowners, it's time for special year-end savings from Mahindra, the world's #1.
Granite Staters are once again stepping up to help this holiday season. Our Spirit of Giving toy drive is underway right now across the state. And WMUR's Mike Cherry and Jen Vaughn are at the Walmart in Manchester, one of the many drop-off locations, with more. Good morning to you guys. This feels like quite a role reversal for me.
Good morning,
Good morning to you, Amy. It's beautiful out here. Yes, it's a little chilly, but the sun is just starting to come up, and there's no trouble here at all, because if yesterday is any indication of the success of our Spirit of Giving toy drive, we are off to a wonderful start, because Mike, over 8,000 toys were collected yesterday alone.
Yeah, absolutely. And we already have seen some folks drop off toys already early this morning, so we want you to be a part of that. And I think I hear we have a special guest joining us this morning.
We hear something over here that lets us know that it is the busy season, and Santa and Mrs. Claus do not get any sleep, because even though they were out here with us yesterday, they're back again today. Good morning to you both, and thanks so much for being with us this weekend.
Good morning.
Good morning. Great to be back. Yesterday was wonderful. Folks are so generous, and they're coming out and they're donating to kids all up and down the age spectrum. But we do need for 0 to 2-year-olds, so the toddlers, the babies, and 10 and over. So what are some fabulous toys that you know the kids are looking for this year?
So for the 10 and over, we found Bluetooth speakers, some of the Axe body spray. We've had gentlemen drop off some tool kits. So it's just stuff to expand on what they need on a daily basis. On the 0 to 2,
0 to 2 learning toys, bathtub toys, things like that.
Yeah, Mrs. Claus, you folks have been out here for 12 years now. What do you enjoy? What surprises you about the turnout every year?
The adults bringing their children in to teach them how to donate and give back. That is incredible. That's been so wonderful to watch.
And the Spirit of Giving is something, as you mentioned, Mrs. Claus, that it goes across the spectrum of age too, and it's such a nice thing to see that it's a tradition for many families to be a part of this special weekend.
it is a tradition, and when you hear some of the stories of how some of the people who are donating back have received when they were younger, when you see someone wheel up a carriage and you're like, what part are we taking out? And it's the whole thing. And the smile on their face and the happiness and the joy they're just giving, it's just beautiful.
And it is important to point out that if not for something like this, there are children across the state who might not have a happy Christmas morning.
That's correct. You never know what's going to happen with your neighbor. They might look like everything's fine, but there might have been an injury or a sickness where they have to either do food or heat, and they might not be able to get that toy. So what you're giving actually might help your neighbor.
And we are going to be down here all morning long, but Santa and Mrs. Claus won't be down here till 9 o'clock. So if you want to come down to Walmart in Manchester, come on down, get a picture with Santa and Mrs. Claus.
You don't want to get into trouble with Santa, that's for sure. So Amy, back to you.
I hope I'm on the nice list.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And again, day 2 of the toy drive. And the 2 locations for the toy drive is Manchester at 725 Gold Street, Manchester, New Hampshire. And today is opened until 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. And the other location is Newington, 45 Gosling Road, Newington, New Hampshire. Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And if you can't make it to the location, click here for a list of all toys for drop-off locations, other locations, You can also drop off new unwrapped toys at all Planet Fitness locations in New Hampshire. Traffic alert. Santa Shuffle and Christmas Parade on Elm Street today will cause partial road closures. On Saturday, December 7th, the city of Manchester will be hosting both a Santa Shuffle 5K and Christmas Parade back to back. The shuffle is slated to kick off at 3:15 p.m. and is expected to draw 3,000 participants. Immediately following the shuffle, the city will host its annual Christmas Parade. The parade is expected to draw between 20 to 30K spectators. It is anticipated that this will kick off at 4 o'clock p.m. And let's take a look at those road closures. Elm Street will be shut down from Clark Street to Granite Street for the duration of the two events. Pleasant Street from Elm Street to Franklin Street will be closed, starting at 10 o'clock a.m. for pre-race events. Elm Street will shut down from Granite Street to Merrimack Street at 1 o'clock p.m. for the race setup. The MTA bus stop in front of Veterans Park will be temporarily moved to the south side of Lake Avenue, adjacent to the SNHU Arena. The two routes are as follows. Race route. Start on Elm Street and area of Pleasant Street, north on Elm Street to Clark Street, west on Clark Street to Everett Street, south on Everett Street to Waldo Street, east on Waldo Street to Elm Street, south on Elm Street. Finish on Elm Street in the area of Pleasant Street. And parade route starts at Brady Sullivan Building, Amascoggin Bridge / Solemn Street, south on Elm, disbands in front of Veterans Park, floats south on Elm to Granite, and walkers east on Central. And that is a look at the traffic delays and issues that will be happening in Manchester this afternoon. Driver rescued from water after vehicle crashes into Shrewsbury Pond. Shrewsbury firefighters were able to rescue a driver from Jordan Pond after a vehicle crashed into the water and flipped over on its roof. Officials said the fire department received a call at 4:28 a.m. Saturday reporting a motor vehicle had crashed into Jordan Pond with a person trapped inside. The first crew to arrive at the scene said the car had flipped over onto its roof and was partially submerged in approximately 4 feet of water. Firefighters in cold water rescue suits attempted to pull the trapped occupant from the vehicle, but officials said they were unable to open the doors due to the vehicle's positioning. Video from witness at the scene shows firefighters in cold water gear near the overturned car. Let's take a look at that video from the witness.
Experience might and majesty on the Nile. Step inside ancient Nubia now at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston and discover the treasures and tombs of an ancient empire that once ruled the Nile Valley. On view through January 20th.
Okay, that was video from a witness at the scene. Crews were able to use a rescue vehicle which to pull the car out of the water and broke the driver's side window to release any residue water inside once the car was on shore. Firefighters then used the jaws of life to remove the victim through the driver's side door. The victim was removed from the car about 10 minutes after firefighters arrived at the scene, according to officials. Worcester Emergency Medical Services treated the victim at the scene before transporting them to UMass Memorial Medical Center. There has been no update on the victim's condition. Maine State Police seized 5 tractor trailers for $75,000 in unpaid tolls. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
The Cadillac Upgrade Program is going on now at Holloway Cadillac. Enjoy this month's lease and finance.
Okay, and there you go on that video from WMTW News 8 Maine. House prepares for final hearings before drawing up articles of impeachment. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Well, now to the impeachment showdown. Democrats firing back, saying the American people deserve answers from President Trump. The White House issuing a defiant response about participating in the impeachment hearings. ABC's Kira Phillips is on Capitol Hill with the story. Good morning to you, Kira.
Good morning, Eva. Defiant indeed. Democrats, as they accelerate their push for impeachment, the president telling them, go ahead, and without him or his lawyers. In this letter from White House counsel Pat Cipollone to Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee Jerry Nadler, Cipollone states your impeachment inquiry is completely baseless and has violated basic principles of due process and fundamental fairness. You should end this inquiry now and not waste even more time with additional hearings. Upper House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said yesterday, Eva, that participating in the House Judiciary impeachment proceeding would offer President Trump a, quote, chance to show his innocence. Cipollone's letter making it clear, though, the president is not easily intimidated. He goes on and writes, as the president has recently stated, if you're going to impeach me, do it now, fast, so we can have a fair trial in the Senate and so that our country can get back to business. Meanwhile, Pelosi instructed House Democrats, Eva, to begin drafting articles of impeachment, anticipating that a full House vote could come before Christmas. A senior White House official actually telling me this morning that while the White House will not participate in any of the House proceedings, if impeachment does progress to a trial in the Senate, the White House is expected to go into that process with all guns blazing, Eva.
So, Kira, what might the White House do?
Well, it's unclear at this point who would actually represent the president in a trial, whether it would be the White House counsel's office or outside attorneys. But the president does want to call forward what he has described as, quote, serious witnesses, demanding to hear from people like the whistleblower to Hunter Biden. But there's still no indication on who they might call in to testify. A lot to look forward here to, Eva.
And a lot of people will be watching. Kira Phillips, thank you. And on Monday, the House Judiciary Committee meets to draft articles of impeachment. We'll have full coverage of the hearings beginning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday, and goodbye.